Welcome, Marianne and Charlie. It's so good to see you both. How are you?
Good, we miss you.
Oh,
Good. How are you?
You were married at the Ungasan on the 3rd of June last year, so it's just been over a year since your wedding. We're dying to share it with everybody and go through some questions because everybody wants to know about your amazing wedding. It was just incredible. And a big congratulations to you both because you're pregnant.
Yes.
Yeah, we're kind of excited.
Such good news. It's just absolutely beautiful. Now, before we dive deep into the wedding, for those listening, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Well, we've been together now 5.5 years. We traveled the first couple of years and, didn't want to get married too soon. So everything really worked out well and ended up getting married in Bali. So it was good.
What's your favorite travel destination?
It's Greece. I'm Greek, so I have to say Greece, but Bali's up there for sure. The first time we went, we fell in love and we were just like inspired by everything Bali. So it was a big part of the decision making.
Oh, that's awesome. And I know you were looking at a Sydney wedding as well when we first started to chat. What attracted you to Bali, and what was it something in particular that pushed you over the line to go with the Bali wedding?
Charlie.
You know what? It was just a bit different. Yeah, we fell in love with Bali a few years ago when we had travelled there, and kind of always said to ourselves that we want to do a wedding in Bali. We want to do a wedding in Bali, and I've got a pretty big family, and it was a bit of a decision making experience to sort of go down the path of taking the wedding to Bali, but. At the end, it all worked pretty well for everyone, and we had a really good time, and all the guests and family really enjoyed themselves. So,
yeah, something different.
No regrets on that one, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
We have about 12 weddings a year, so It would be like literally having the same type of wedding as everybody else. So we wanted something different.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know everyone had such an amazing time. I mean, a lot of people were up there for a week and they just partied and partied and partied.
Yeah, that was a fun part about it. Not only the wedding day experience, it was the actual
week,
the week leading up to the wedding, and the calmness we had leading up to the wedding because everyone was around us for the entire week. So that was a pretty good experience.
And I know there's a lot of young people there, but how did your older guests go? Did they love the experience as well?
Oh, like Charlie's parents, who were probably the most nervous about Bali, they can't wait to go back. They're like, I can't wait till the borders open up and we can go back to Bali. And everyone was just, I think everyone they didn't have a really big expectation, and Bali just proved to be so amazing to them. So I think that was a really, really good thing as well.
Yeah. We love to hear that because we know that a lot of families get quite nervous about it because if they haven't been before or, it's different to what they experience at home when you do go to a lot of weddings. So that's the best thing when we hear that. We're just like, yeah. And a lot of couples, we always say, don't worry, when they get there, they'll have a great time. You'll show them a Bali that they've never seen before, that their friends don't know about, because everyone likes to say, oh, Bali, why are they going there? But I always say to people, wait till you see our Bali. It's very different than, just what's on the media and stuff. So that's awesome. Now, Marianne, what can you tell us about your absolutely stunning dress?
Oh, well, it was designed and made by Leah DeGloria, who's a Sydney-based Australian designer. And you know what? It was probably like she was in the works with designing this dress. Like when I had gone to see her for the first time, it was unfinished. Like she was just working on a design, and she's like, do you mind trying this on for me? And I was like, okay, because it was so different to everything else I had just tried on. And it was just like, it was that moment where like all my bridesmaids were like, oh, and then like I was just like, it's different. It's not that typical like lace, and it had the pearls, and I was just like, this felt Bali for me. So I think that was just part of the reason I picked that dress. So I was very lucky to have like such an easy decision of making the dress. We made some tweaks with the back and the side, and yeah, it was perfect. So I was very, very lucky to have an easy wedding dress process as well.
It looked incredible, and the train was it was stunning.
I know I want to wear it again, but it won't fit for a while.
How did you feel on the day when you were wearing it?
Oh, it was actually so comfortable, because so many brides were like to me that had been married before, they're like, you know, make sure you're like comfortable in your wedding dress. And I was just shocked that I wasn't having any like things stabbing me or anything like that. My shoes and my dress were completely fine the whole day in that hot weather. So I don't know, it must have been the adrenaline. Couldn't feel it, and the alcohol.
Because quite often the heat, like, you know, your legs swell up a little bit sometimes, and, you know, so we've had girls before, you know, wear their dresses and they've been really tight on them on the day. So, but that just was beautiful. It looked incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible. Now, your styling for the wedding. So our in-house stylist, Kylie, and myself worked with the incredible Diane Curry on this amazing concept. Can you tell us your inspiration behind what you wanted for your special day?
Oh, I just wanted, I don't know, like it was so hard trying to, because I loved everything. I love everything. And I'm like, how do I get everything I like into like one design? I really wanted something romantic and just like, you know, like a really like floaty feeling. Like I really wanted what do they call, the like curtains, the draping, and I loved baby's breath. Like I've always loved it. So I really wanted to include that. But yeah, just something really simple, romantic. And you guys already had such great experience, and the Villa Tamarama and that whole area of the Ungasan just had its own style that I wanted to match. So yeah, it was quite easy as well. Like I can't thank you guys enough, because you made my wedding process so easy. But it was really, really good. And it was great working with Diane and having that something different with that X formation that we did.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We loved working with Diane as well. Like it was awesome for us to, you know, work with someone so talented and experienced. And, you know, Bali's a bit different because we don't have the big ballroom, so, you know, we can't hang from structures. We have to, you know, create a whole room, you know, when we do an outside venue. So it was so much fun working with her. And you, and I know you were just like, I just want it romantic and beautiful and soft and, you know, ballet slip on and everything like that. So it looked incredible. So the reception was on the Salatin lawn at the Ungasan. Can you tell us what you loved about the reception venue, and how did you feel when we took you in for the sneak peek before all the guests came in?
You know, we saw it like a couple of days before, and you just see like this plain grass. And of course it's so beautiful. There's a massive pool and a cliff and the views and everything. But it's like, it's so hard to physically imagine when you're just looking at grass. Yeah. So it was just amazing. I think I was so shocked. Like it just looked like a little piece of magic. I was in a fairy tale. So,
what did you think, Charlie?
You know, I was pretty blown away when we had that little sneak peek. Certainly not what I expected when I was trying to envisage the plain grass area, sort of getting all worked up to set up for the wedding. But yeah, it worked out tremendously. But it was a beautiful scene, walking in and seeing everyone there as well. So,
and just seeing our guests' faces being like, wow, like this is like the coolest wedding we've ever been to. So it had that feeling.
I remember them walking in and the drums were beating and everyone was coming in, and I don't think I've ever seen so many people with their phones up filming and into a reception before. I'm like, but just the vibe and everything that they created, and not the drums created, the people created. You know, there was just so much love and happiness and everything when they came in. I mean, you would only see that on the video, but it was just absolutely sensational. So, and Charlie, I know you were a little bit nervous about the X shape that we did on the reception setup. We went back and forward, yes, no, yes, no. There it is there. It looked brilliant. It filled the space so well. How did the guests, like, what was the feedback with the guests? Are you glad you did it?
Oh, you know, looking back now, yeah, absolutely glad I did it. I think I was nervous because he plays to the original weddings I go to, you know, the round tables or the straight tables aligned, and dance floor right in the middle, and looking at the plans. I don't know, I couldn't see it working, and I'm like, how is this going to work? How are my guests going to feel? And you know, I think we're probably just blown away by the way it worked out, and you know, yourself there and the crew all got it working for us, and you know, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, and obviously Marianne, you loved it too.
Yeah, I was blown away.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, the way that we had it set out, and you know, I remember Kylie was in charge of, you know, getting the Salaton lawn set up with the dance floor and everything like that. And we've never used the space like that before because the tables took up so much room. It was awesome. We were able to use the entire lawn space with the dance floor and the bar and everything. And I just remember standing there looking at it all going, wow, this is a fantastic use of space here that we'd never done before. And then being able to sling the little chandelier over the dance floor for you.
Oh, that was a really nice surprise as well, because what we were kind of like worried about, it's like, oh, is it going to be, you know, your guests are sitting in one place and they have to go all the way to another area for a dance floor, but it kind of created like two rooms in a way. And he obviously helped that the bar was next to the dance floor. So, so that was really good. But it just kind of felt like, I remember actually going to the lawn and being like, oh, like it's a good amount of space. But it kind of felt so much bigger when we saw everything there. So that was really, really cool as well. But the dance floor was amazing. It was such a beautiful area.
It flowed really well from the tables, and your guests all wanted to dance.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, you know, everyone was up at the bar and dancing, and we had the cocktail furniture for the oldies to sit down, but there was no one left in the tables when it was part of time. Like,
when there was no food, there was just dance floor. So
exactly, everyone had the best time. Now, if we talk a little bit about the furniture, can you tell us, you know, your design and what you wanted with the furniture that we had? We had a Bali event hire for the tables, and we used Sameja for your tablewares.
I had been following these accounts for a long time. So like I knew on Instagram, like I had seen what they had done and what the furniture they had. It's just like, and with you as well, like we just kind of decided easily they had the vibe that we wanted, and they were just so beautiful. Like the plates, I was like, can we take these home? And the menus and everything, like it was just, I don't know, I was shocked. Like I knew what was happening, and I was still shocked at how beautiful it all was. So it was great.
Well, Kylie designed the name cards, and she said to me, she goes, I've done them on parchment paper, but they've got to be hand torn. And I'm like, okay. So she sat there the night beforehand, just like tearing every name card and the menu. So they came up so well.
Kylie's amazing. I really miss her as well.
I know we miss her. I'm not going to see her for a while now. It's really sad. Now, who photographed your wedding? And do you have a favourite shot of theirs?
Okay, so we had a Sydney photographer come with us to Bali. His name is Emilio B. And this is my favourite photo, was in front of our main table, in front of all the guest tables. And he took that photo and showed it to us like straight away, and it looked like we were on like in a little lagoon, like floating in this like this sea of like tables, and that's for sure my favorite photo. I was blown away. The whole experience was like you never realize how important a photographer is. Like they create the vibe on the day, you know, if they're with you on the day through the whole day, you know, you want a fun person, you want someone that's going to guide you like really well. So it was really good experience as well.
And that was the first time that we worked with him as well. And we had the best day with him. And, you know, in the beginning, he's like, okay, Narelle, well, I need this and I need this and I need this. And this is how today's going to be. And this is what, and we're like, okay, we've got, you know, like, all right, no problems. And
he literally said to me after, he's like, we've never worked with such on point wedding planners. Like they are amazing. Like they know how to run a wedding. And I was like, I know, right? Like they're really good.
Little military precision, right? Things have got to happen now, people, right now. Yeah. But yeah, we can't wait to work with them again. And it's wonderful to be exposed to these different suppliers and work with new people like Diane and Emilio. So, you know, we can't wait to work with him again. And yeah, like this photo is just, it's just beautiful, isn't it?
Love it.
You never get looking at it. Do you love it, Charlie?
Yeah, like I said, it's a good memory. It takes us back to a great time. So,
is this one going to be blown up and put in the house?
Yes, it is. We haven't decided where, but definitely this one's going up, and the one of us in front of a Tamarama house.
Oh, awesome. Now, the wedding planning. How did you enjoy the wedding planning aspect? Is there anything that stood out for you? I know we met a couple of times in Sydney, and Charlie, it was great because you were involved in it as well, mainly for the budget, but you were definitely involved in it.
Guy in finance over here.
So how did you enjoy the process? Was it difficult?
Oh my God. Like, cause I pretty much had full 2-time jobs. Like I would work at my full-time job 5 days a week. And on the weekend, I had my Instagram job. So it was like, I had no time to plan a wedding on top of that. I was just like, I need someone to be able to help me. And you guys made everything so seamless. Like in Sydney, like you have to speak to every supplier on your own. You know what I mean? So you have to reach out to cars, you have to reach out to cakes, you have to reach out to this. And you guys just made it all in one. You know what I mean? Like, I think by myself, all I had to do was the photographer and my hair and makeup and the drums and everything else, like from the cake to the dance floor to the flowers to the sound, the DJ, everything. Like you guys did that all, and that was just, you know, it was very seamless. I can't, like, I'm very thankful for finding you guys through Hannah's, whose wedding you did, I think maybe 2 years ago, and you know, it's crazy what Instagram can bring you. So it's really, really good.
What about you, Charlie? How did you enjoy the process?
Yeah, I was predominantly trying to keep her in line, but absolutely, you know, Narelle, you and the team made it so easy for us to decide what we wanted to do. And sort of once we got going with, you know, having a look at the plans in Bali and sort of talking about having the wedding in Bali with you, and sort of I think that really cemented our decision in taking the wedding over. And you know, you made it so easy for us going there, and especially on the day. You know, Maz was calling me Groomzilla, but and I'm sure you saw a bit of that. But you and the team absolutely made it so easy for us to make our decisions. So no, I can't thank you enough.
Oh, that's our pleasure. We absolutely loved it. Was there anything that you found challenging, like anything that, you know, maybe the guests or the guest travel, was there anything that you found a little bit challenging, or was it just all a breeze?
Like for myself personally, I thought the only challenging aspect would be ensuring everyone was okay. You know, we had about 90% of our wedding that had never been to Bali before.
Wow.
So we're trying to, as well as paying their guides, we're trying to sort of ensure that, you know, is everyone going to be there on time? Are the buses going to be okay picking people up and relocating the wedding, or relocating everyone to the reception, and sort of how is it all going to work on the day? And sort of you and the team took that well out of my hands.
Yeah, you were
and I was still stressing about it. You took it out of my hands, and you know, it was a seamless process. So again, I can't thank you enough. And absolutely, the guests felt loved and enjoyed the time, and you know, we had a pretty good event.
Pretty good. For me, I was scared it was going to rain, because I know you said it doesn't rain that time of year. It's very rare if it does, but the weather app said thunderstorms every single day in Bali, and we didn't see rain once. So it was just like, but it's going to happen when I'm walking down the aisle. Like, I know it's going to happen. So it was just, I had that kind of stress because we didn't have technically a plan B or a marquee in a sense, because you knew it wasn't going to rain, and we had a rain man. But that was probably my only stress throughout the whole wedding.
Yeah, it was a bit overcast on the day, and as it got later and later, it was getting a little bit grayer. I didn't think it was going to rain though. Honestly, the rain stopper, we've used him a lot up in Uluwatu, and I know it sounds crazy and people they can't believe it. Can you, Charlie? You can't believe it.
I'm still too wise about that one. They're all it worked for us, so I'll take that.
And then it was like, no, it's not going to rain. And you know, even it was quite grey, I was still really confident, because obviously if it does rain, we have to put plan B in action and get all your guests under cover. And so, but yeah, I was quite confident, but it was one of those things that's just so hard, isn't it? But I always like to be just like, it's not going to rain. Don't worry. It's not going to rain. Now,
but it ended up being the most perfect night. I think we were also worried, is it going to be really hot for our guests? Is it going to be, are they going to be uncomfortable? And the situation of where we were in Uluwatu, we had such a nice breeze, and it ended up being great. So
yeah. And I'm sure the day flew by for you. It absolutely flew by for us. Was there a moment that you remember that you had on the day with me, Marianne? Like anything that stood out?
Oh, I think it was like one stage where my hairdresser had left, and then we realized we hadn't put my veil on. And I was like, who's going to put my veil on? Like, I don't know how to put this on. And I think you and Kylie were literally helped me put the veil on. And I was like, where would I be without these, like, these girls? Like, I can't thank you guys enough. So that was like a really like special moment as well. Like Kylie was like literally like getting the things in, and I was just like, well, they've got experience in this,
Yep, absolutely. What about you, Charlie? Was there anything that you remember, like a moment with us that stood in your mind on the day?
You know what? I think it was just a presence. It was always having someone around, and it was something I didn't expect. I thought it was just, the wedding planner's there, sorted out the wedding, and we can let it go. But every moment I turned around or I looked like I needed something, it was either yourself or Kylie were there, and sort of, you're right. And I remember, sorry, I had lost my voice the couple of nights before the wedding, and Kylie was always running around with a cup of warm water and lemon for me, and sort of looking for me to ensure that I had enough vocals to finish the speech. But just the little things that really mattered, and I didn't really expect at all. And that was going above and beyond what we expected. So again, thank you so much.
Oh, look, we seriously loved the day. It was challenging for us. It was a lot going on. There's a lot of people and a lot of, moving parts and a lot of supplies. But we had the best time, and your guests were just beautiful. So that made it easier for us as well. When everyone's really nice and there's love there. I just remember your best man trying to get everyone into the reception, and we weren't quite finished. And he's going, "They're coming in now, Narelle." And I'm like, "No, stop." That was that was so funny. I had to try and be really bossy to him and be like, "No, you not." So, but we had the best time as well. It was awesome. And now that it's all behind us, would you recommend having a destination wedding? And what was your one highlight?
100%. Like, it just creates like a whole different vibe. Like, your wedding's not just one day. You're with your family and your friends in another country, and it just feels so special. Like, nobody has to worry about getting home or driving home, or there's just like all those things where I feel like everyone felt so like free spirited there, and it made the event so perfect. Like, I literally watch my wedding videos on my phone like all the time and just try to relive that day as much as possible. So it was really, really special. And the highlight, like, I think, I don't know, like, I guess dancing the whole night. Like, I don't know how I danced the whole night. I don't think we got off the dance floor. So that was probably my highlight.
What about you, Charlie? Your highlight?
Well, I think it was just the entire week as a whole, and seeing everyone there, a lot of the family and the guests coming over, a lot of family and friends. It's a different feeling than what we ever expected. And I never would have expected doing a wedding in Bali, and when we did, I have never regretted it since. It was an amazing time there, well spent, and absolutely, with your help and your team's help, made it a seamless moment for us. So,
and
even
the after party was going crazy as well when you went back to the Renaissance. I remember, I was like, wow, this is awesome. So everyone had such a good time back there as well, didn't they?
Yes. That worked out really, really good too.
They're a bit of a wild bunch.
Yeah, we had a very wild bunch with us.
What time did you guys end up going back to the Ungasan? Was it late?
I think 3:30. Wow. I remember.
Yeah, don't remember.
Don't remember.
We ordered burgers at 3:30 a.m.
That's so much fun, though.
Absolutely good fun, and it wasn't only that night. It was the whole lead up to the event.
And you helped us organise like our pre-wedding party as well, and that was amazing too. So we had that at OMR, and that was really, really fun too.
Yeah, again, that whole going above and beyond, it's something we didn't expect. We don't expect you to book our pre-wedding party, but you made that whole experience seamless and so easy to get through.
Omnia is such a fun place. Like I say to everybody, you know, maybe do it after the wedding though, not before.
I probably say do it after the wedding. I lost my voice from that.
Oh, well, we had our guest saying, like, how are you going to top Omnia? Like, Omnia was the best day ever. Like, how are we going to top that at the wedding? And I was like, well, we did it. We topped it.
Absolutely, you did. Do you have any tips or advice? Like if you had to give one tip for people wanting an overseas wedding, what would it be?
Get yourself a good wedding planner. Like, that's seriously it. Like, because you can't do it yourself. Like, you can't, I mean, you can, but it would be so hard. So
yeah,
I think a wedding planner is very, very, very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave it to the experts.
Yeah.
Great. Now, is there anything that you'd like to add in your own words that we haven't touched on today about the experience or wedding?
I was just so happy. Like, I can't fault anything, you know what I mean? Like, everything was it was just a happy feeling. And I think doing our wedding in Bali just, you know, really, really made our wedding so special. So I think, yeah, it was such a happy experience.
That's great.
No, we can't thank you enough. Yeah,
like we tell everyone how obsessed we are with you. Like, it's because it's so different for us. Like, our cultures, you know, and just doing something that different was really, really, like, special. And just getting everyone to experience that, and everyone, like, you know, now I have another friend doing a wedding overseas, and everyone is kind of like going down that destination route. So I think it's good.
Oh,
people are staying away.
Honestly, we had so much fun planning your wedding. Like, we knew that there were big expectations, but you just such a beautiful couple, and you know, we formed this beautiful friendship as well, and it was really special. And you know, just having that time with you in Bali was lovely as well. And I loved our pre-meets and everything. So you know, it's like we don't want to say goodbye to you either. So it's been so nice to, you know, a year down the track, you know, revisit it and feature the wedding and see you guys as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you certainly helped took over the entire process. And I'm a process person, so I certainly didn't make it easy for you. I needed to know everything, every little thing. So, but absolutely, leaving that to the experts, and you really took that out of my hands and made our entire week there so effortless and so beautiful, and a great time that we enjoyed.
Oh, awesome. Well, again, it was our pleasure to help you guys create your dream day, and it really was a dream day. So thank you, and good luck with the baby. We're looking forward to seeing as everything happens, and photos and everything like that. So take care, guys, and it was lovely to see you.
And love to